You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, Stephanie Johnson is really anxious about the publication of her steamy romance novel, One Stormy Night, but she's also scared that a nutty ex is going to come for her if that guy realizes the book has parts about him in it. And it seems that that ex might be Jeremy Horton. But Stephanie trusted her boyfriend Alex to take out a particular passage from the book that was very autobiographical, that she thought was something that Jeremy might see and be triggered by. Obviously, Stephanie's worried her abusive ex-boyfriend might see this. So I'm just wondering if Salem's former bad boy, Jeremy Horton, is going to return to get a signed copy of the sexy book or to do something really, really bad to his ex. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. We're going to dive into what happens when Stephanie's psycho ex is back to Salem. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's dive right in. This romance book that Kate Roberts is helping publish for Alex and Titan Publishing is already making waves in Salem. A lot of people on staff at University Hospital have passed Stephanie's book around, giving it very high accolades for being super steamy, and that was because Kate misplaced it at the hospital. So doctors and nurses got an eyeful of the steamy passages, and Stephanie would be horrified to know that her mom, Kayla, actually took the book home, and she and Steve were trying out various positions and scenarios from her book. It's just icky. And Stephanie's worried about her reputation as a PR agent being ruined if her romance writing alter ego comes out. And then there's the threat of this mystery ex that we presume will be Jeremy Horton, because a lot of red flags and timings and spoilers. So part of this is why Stephanie's publishing under a nom de plume, Anastasia Sands, to protect her identity and just from anybody in her past recognizing themselves. However, Philip Kiriakis flipped through the book and recognized some things and figured out pretty quickly that it was written by his ex, Stephanie. So I wonder if Philip was recognizing intimate details too. I hope she doesn't mention something about, a guy with missing a foot that she was in bed with. I hope it's not that detailed. I mean, that would be easily recognizable. But not only did Stephanie include steamy parts of her past with Philip, it looks like she sampled from all her past relationships, because another ex, Jeremy Horton, seems to be part of what she wrote into that book. And it almost sounds like this isn't even fiction. It's just the greatest hits from Stephanie's own very steamy love life. So the most obvious reason to think that her ex she's worried about is Jeremy is because Steve just name dropped the guy. So after he found out Alex Kiriakis was arrested a few years ago, it's bringing out Steve's past anxiety over a bad man that was involved with his daughter Stephanie, and he specifically mentioned Jeremy. Meanwhile, we know there is a new actor coming to Days of Our Lives in October. It's Michael Rourke, who is a total hottie if you've never seen him. He was on Y&R a while back playing Travis, who is a love interest for legacy character Victoria. And right now, Michael Rourke is also on the new Passion Flicks series Black Dagger Brotherhood, which is based on a super steamy series of books, probably even steamier than Stephanie's One Stormy Night book. And there's no confirmation yet that Jeremy's coming back, but there's these red flags. Steve just name dropped him. Then we have the book launch coming soon, where presumably there's stuff about him in it. And Mike Horton, Jeremy's father, is in town in October for the dedication of a free clinic in the Horton family name. So with an October debut also scheduled for new actor Michael Rourke, it makes sense that he's probably recast Jeremy coming to town with his dad Mike for the clinic dedication. So I'm excited to see if Jeremy's looking for an autographed copy of Stephanie's dirty book that he is apparently featured in. Alex Kiriakis and Kate Roberts are fast-tracking Stephanie's book into publication. They both think her naughty novel could restore Titan Industries' publishing division to its former glory. I mean, that's kind of an insane business idea, but it's what we've got. So in the rush with Kate getting things done fast, the ball got dropped and Alex took responsibility for it, but that didn't help. And that was about Stephanie's request to get that very specific passage out of the book. In hindsight, she's very worried about it. My money is that it's about Jeremy. Longtime Days fans may remember that Stephanie and Jeremy dated back in 2007, and Dr. Mike Horton's son was mixed up in Demerara drug smuggling, and he was running this high roller airline, and Stephanie and Chelsea Brady were working as flight attendants on the Salem, Las Vegas flight. So Stephanie and Jeremy had a hot and steamy relationship, but then he turned abusive on her. And at one point, he pushed her head and held it underwater in a hot tub. And then Jeremy fled Salem to avoid jail time, and we haven't seen him in town since. And Stephanie doesn't want to see him at all. Maybe the charges have been dealt with. We'll see. And Jeremy vowed to change his life for the better. That may not be true. He could still be a threat to Stephanie. And now Steve's worried about Stephanie's relationship with Alex because of his criminal past. And Steve talked to Justin about it, but didn't get a ton of info. Alex pleaded guilty to an undisclosed crime, and that we've seen he doesn't have a further criminal record, but Steve wants to make sure that Stephanie is safe. And so he is going to confront Alex this week. Steve doesn't know if Alex is capable of the level of violence that Jeremy was, but he wants to make sure. And if Steve found out that Stephanie wrote a semi-autobiographical dirty book, he'd be horrified, especially since he and Kayla were getting hot and heavy while reading his daughter's book. And again, just so icky. And if Stephanie admits to her dad she's worried about Jeremy because of the book, I think Steve would go on high alert. Alex reassured Stephanie that using a pen name would protect her identity and nobody would know that she was writing the steamy smut. But Philip figured it out pretty quickly. So I suspect Jeremy will too, especially if he sees that One Stormy Night is published by Titan, a company out of Salem. Then again, Jeremy may not be into sexy lady fiction and it flies under his radar, but I doubt it. Later this fall, October, Dr. Mike Horton is in town for the ribbon cutting of the Dr. Tom Horton Free Clinic. And it looks like Rourke Critchlow, the OG Mike Horton, returns to the canvas in October, same time as Jeremy. Well, same time as the new actor that I presume is playing Jeremy. So Rourke Critchlow is back in October, the same time that Michael Rourke debuts in the role. And that's another reason I really think Jeremy is going to be played by hunky Michael Rourke. For now, though, Alex has gotten Stephanie calmed down, but that chill may not last if Jeremy sees the book and reaches out to Stephanie to let her know he's coming to see her, or maybe Jeremy just creeps into Salem without a warning. Either way, let's just hope Steve and Alex can protect Stephanie.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.